Arise, Queens. This is the All Queens Army, where women are provided with the tools you need to overcome your fears, face your flaws, and experience breakthroughs as you develop self-esteem so strong you emanate royalty. Now, for your host and commander of the All Queens Army, Breizy Time.
Welcome to the All Queens Army podcast. This is your girl, your host, Breizy Time. I am here today with another dope episode for the Queens. Yes, honey. As always, I'm so excited to be talking to you queens on another beautiful Monday. So, because it's Monday, you queens know that today's episode is from the Motivate Her segment, and it's such a dope topic. I can't wait to share it. But before we jump into today's motivational segment for the queens, I want to ask two favors of you queens. I always ask the same favors. You should be used to them by now. So if this is your first time listening to the All Queens Army podcast, and this is your first time tuning in, I would like for you to please subscribe to the All Queens Army podcast. We are available on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, or you can go to allqueensarmy.com and you can subscribe to our emails, which will all give you notifications of when a new episode drops. If in fact you subscribe to our email list, you will also get our emails that I send out, which is specific content only for the queendom, honey. So again, if you are new and this is your first time listening to the All Queens Army podcast, I just want you to know that I drop some F-bombs, some MF-bombs, and some S-bombs throughout the episode because I am a passionate queen, honey, and expletives, curse words are my way of putting an explanation point on my topic and on my point, okay? So if you're super sensitive to cursing or foul language, then I suggest that maybe you don't listen. But if you like a little spice, if you like a little darkness, if you like a lot of sarcasm, and you like a lot of fucking sass, keep listening, honey, because today's topic is going to blow your fucking socks off. I'm going to motivate the shit out of you, okay? So don't go anywhere, honey, if you have ears of fucking steel, okay? Here's the last thing that I want to ask you queens to do. After you listen to this episode on whichever platform you're listening to me on, can you just drop me a review? Good, bad, ugly, wonderful, indifferent, doesn't matter as long as it's honest. I love to hear from you queens. I love to hear your feedback. I love to hear what you think about the topics, what you think about the content, because it helps me to decide what content and what topics to cover as I'm recording new episodes, okay? So, very excited to jump into today's episode. I hope you queens are as well. And let's just get started. Like, fuck. I mean, what are we waiting for at this point? Let's just make it happen, all right? So, what is today's episode about? Today's episode is, again, another episode that is really focusing on us as queens and our self-esteem and self-value, okay? Now, let's be clear. That's pretty much what the All Queens Army is all about, okay? All Queens Army is all about learning how to lift up our self-value, to recognize our self-worth, to demand to be treated as a queen, honey, because we deserve nothing less, okay? And to ensure that we are carrying ourselves like fucking royalty, all right? That's what the All Queens Army is all about. It is a space for women such as you and me, okay? Or some of the kings, because I have some kings that tune in regularly too. But this is a place for us to have vulnerable conversations, for us to learn how to evolve and how to grow and be able to lean on one another. And it is absolutely a space for nothing but positivity. So while there may be some curse words, while there will be some curse words, let's be clear that this is a space of non-judgment and 1000% motivation and positivity. We do not tear queens down. We do not talk shit about each other. We do not judge each other, okay? We love. Okay, so queens, you know I love you queens so much because I love to be in your ear because you are in my heart. So let's get started with today's topic. Again, it is going to be surrounding the topic of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. And here is what we're going to be discussing today, okay? Your pain is not an excuse to treat me badly. All right. Now, that goes for anybody. Okay, a lot of times we do talk about relationships and we talk about how other men or how men or women are treating us. Well, today it doesn't matter who it is. Okay, this goes for any goddamn body. Your pain is not an excuse to treat me badly. Whether it's a coworker, whether it's your boss, whether it's your friends, whether it's your man, whether it's your woman, doesn't fucking matter who it is. No one is allowed to treat you badly. No one has the authority to treat you like shit, okay? And I know that there's a lot of queens out there who are going through things where they don't feel that they're being treated nicely. They don't feel that they're valued. They don't feel loved. They don't feel appreciated. And I'm here to tell you that there is a lot of people who are mistreating you, who will use excuses, and most of the excuses that they use will surround their own pain, where they're painting themselves as some sort of a victim of something happening to them, and this is why they're treating you a certain way. So this episode is very specifically to discuss why that is bullshit and how you guys can kind of prevent that from happening to you going forward. So before I get into how to stop those things from happening, as you queens know, if you listen to the Motivate Her segments, which are the Monday segments, today's segment, if you queens have listened to the segments before, you know that there's a little bit of a flow to the episode. So usually what I do is I first tell you guys what the topic is, then I tell you why what we're talking about is a problem. Okay, what kind of problems and issues it's going to cause in your life if you don't resolve it. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. Then we'll go into me telling you a story. Okay, a story about the topic, about a queen or a king that experienced something or did something that's specific to the topic, and then talk about what happened and how it turned out, good or bad. Okay. And then the last thing that we do in these episodes is I will give you 3 things. Sometimes I have 4. But I will give you 3 things that you can do to stop people from treating you like shit. Like, what can you do? How can you combat this? How can you identify it? How do you know what's happening? And then what can you do to kind of draw those lines in the sand? And I know that that may sound a little weird because some people will say, well, why would anybody let people treat them like shit? Baby, a lot of people, even the person who may have had that thought, a lot of people let people treat them like shit. A lot of people, okay? You will be surprised, even in your own self, the excuses that you make for the people that you love as to why you allow them to do the fucked up shit that they do to you, okay? So nobody is exempt. Everybody has someone in their life that they allow that person to run over top of them. A lot of us, especially as mothers, are guilty of it with our children. I know I am, right? As I always tell you queens, look, this podcast is not me preaching to you. This is an us podcast. I am preaching to myself, honey. I am talking to myself as well because we're all flawed queens. We're all trying to evolve. We're all needing motivation, okay? So this isn't talking at you or to you. This is talking to us, about us and for us. Okay, so let's jump into this topic and talk about, like, why is it a major fucking problem when you let people treat you badly? And again, I'm talking about kids as well. I'm talking about mamas. I'm talking about daddies. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about all the people that you love so near and dear, right? And you give them passes to treat you badly. And I want to explain to you what that's doing to your psyche and what that's doing to your self-esteem. Okay, because it's causing another problem. And the problem that it's causing, I guarantee you, is not worth what you're allowing people to do to you. I don't give a shit how much you love them, and I don't care how much, you make excuses for them. So let's jump into it, okay? So here's the thing. You can't let people use their pain to make excuses for why they treat you. And you also can't make excuses for why you let people do the fucked up shit that they do. And here's why. First and foremost, it will mess up your self-esteem. So while you're making an excuse as to why you let your mom constantly just talk to you mean or say mean things or throw little jabs, I'll give you an example. I know 2 young men whose moms call them fat. She says it as a joke all the time, but she calls them fat. I mean, hell, she calls herself fat, okay? But I just don't think it's right. It's not funny. And while everybody may laugh about it and ha, 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 because it's said in a joking way, someone that you love, someone that you look up to, someone that you admire, saying something like that to you, even as a joke, it definitely does hit at your self-esteem. On top of that, it hits at your self-worth. Every little time that person makes that joke, it chips away at how great you feel about yourself. And slowly but surely, it starts to tear you down. It's like chopping down a tree. Every time the person says it, it's like the axe hitting the base of the tree. And eventually the tree falls over. Okay? That's your self-esteem. Falling. Tumbling. Timber! Motherfucker is gone after a while. Because this person that you love, this person that you value, this person that you put on a pedestal because this is the best mother you've ever had. Oh my God, I love my son to death. I'm a ride or die, blah, blah, blah. This is my man. Oh, this my husband. Oh, this my sister. Oh, this my best friend. That person jokingly says little things that hurt you. Okay. And just because it may be said as a joke, or just because it may be, again, said in jest, or just because it may be, girl, that's just how she is, or girl, that's just how he is, or girl, he got a smart mouth, or girl, she gets so smart, girl, she's so sarcastic, or girl, she just negative like that. All of those things are excuses. Cut it out. Don't let people say things like that to you. I know that sometimes we don't think that those things are a big deal because it's like, hey, you know this person and they don't mean any harm. And they may not mean any harm. Most often they don't mean any harm because these are people who love you. These are people who you love. Okay. But the things that people say to you like that when they're being mean, when they're being vile, those things are really things that they feel about themselves. And the way for them to deal with it, to deal with the icky, yucky energy that comes with the negativity they feel about themselves, the only way to get rid of it is to push it off on someone else. Okay? Because remember, energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transferred. So you have to be careful of the people that you love transferring their negative, yucky energy onto you. All right. So first things first, it really chips away at your self-esteem like an axe chopping down a tree. The second thing is very similar to the first. One of the other reasons that it's a problem when you let people treat you badly and talk to you badly is it devalues your self-worth. Okay. Again, it might be said in jest. It may be said on a fly. It may just be how this person talks. Again, all excuses, but it diminishes your value of who you are because words are curses. Well, can be curses, right? Just like words can be blessings. Words can also be curses. Just like one word, one sentence could open up a fucking door for you that could change your life for the better. One word and one sentence can also chop down your self-worth and make you feel low as fuck. The problem is that a lot of us don't realize that this is happening, again, because we sweep shit under the rug, okay? Or we mask it with a joke, or we mask it with an excuse of who this person is and how they are, okay? And we make all of this shit up. Because we don't want to face and deal with the fact that it's fucked up. We don't want to face and deal with the fact that it hurts. We don't want to face and deal with the fact that this person is real ugly on the inside because we love these people a lot of times. So it really, really devalues and diminishes your self-worth over time. Okay? Stop making excuses for it, queens. All right. Here's another thing. And to me, this is like the biggest one. Here's another reason why people talking to you badly or treating you badly is really a major issue. It's mentally abusive. Now, a lot of people are not going to be able to see the correlation between mental abuse and bad behavior, but it's mentally abusive, especially in situations where you attempt to address how you're being treated. So you go to the person and you try to talk to them about how they're treating you or what they're doing to you and how it makes you feel. And instead of acknowledging your feelings, instead of you being met with, wow, I'm so sorry. Instead of you being met with compassion, you're met with resistance. You're met with blame. They turn the tables on you and then tell you why you did something that caused them to do something to hurt you. It becomes your fault. It's very narcissistic. Okay? But it's toxic and it's an excuse. And a lot of people like that are really just trying to victimize themselves. While they're hurting other people, while they're tearing other people down, while they're diminishing other people's value, while they're literally chopping down your fucking self-esteem, when you have the audacity to come to them and you garner the courage to stand up for yourself and say something, and that person does not meet you with compassion, with care, with patience, with gentleness and with love, and instead they turn the fucking tables and all of a sudden they become the victim, because you don't understand their pain and you don't understand what they're going through and you don't understand how hard their day was and you don't understand what happened today and you don't understand how shitty their life was growing up and you don't understand blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. It's abusive. It's abusive. It is a way to deflect from the real problem, from that person taking any ownership of their actions and making you accountable for your own pain. Baby, let me tell you something. I'm going to jump to the end of the episode and tell, if you see a person like that, get the fuck out of there. Run, queen. Get out of there. Abort mission. I don't care who it is. Your self-value, your self-esteem, your worth is way more important. Okay? So now, here's the last reason. I have 4 reasons today, okay? Here's the last reason that people making excuses when they're treating you badly is a problem, okay? And here's what it's doing to you. Last one. You will actually start to emulate that same energy and that same attitude that you're getting. It's almost like you start to become the thing and the person that's hurting you. And let me tell you why. And a lot of people won't take accountability for this. A lot of people don't want to see this. A lot of people don't want to own this. But I've seen this happen so much, even in my own personal life, okay, that the abusee turns into an abuser. And that's how that happens. You see that happen with kids and with parents, right? Where kids grow up in an abusive household where maybe the kid's dad was abusive to his mom and then he winds up being an abuser. Let me tell you why that happens. Because energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. And when someone is harboring yucky, negative, vile, low frequency energy, I promise you, queens, nobody fucking feels good when they're negative. Nobody feels good when they're literally emanating in pain. Nobody feels good when there's nothing but yuckiness surrounding their life. Nobody feels good about low vibrational energy. It doesn't feel good to anybody. Everybody, even the people who stew in it, they don't even like the shit. Okay? So what people do who stew in that kind of energy, and some people even thrive in that kind of yucky ass energy, right? Vile, nasty, mean, temperamental, just, super sarcastic, hurtful words. People who stew in that, who thrive off of that, they don't even want the shit. They don't want the fucking energy. They transfer it. And they transfer it to your ass. You get it. Now you are just like that. Now that energy has attached itself to you. It's like a fucking demon that jumped off of their back and now it's on your back. And you become exactly like what you're experiencing. You become it. That's why, queens, you'll see so many posts on the All Queens Army Instagram and Facebook page. So many posts where I'm talking about protect your energy, protect your peace, I say it, probably have said it hundreds of times at this point, and this is going to be the 101 time. Protect your fucking energy, queens. Protect it. What you allow, what you tolerate, the type of people that you choose to be around, the type of energy that you choose to be around, the mentality of the people that you're around, the characteristics of the people that you're around. You are literally walking into their home and allowing any of those characteristics, whether they be demons or blessings, honey, to jump on your back. And you become it. You become it. That's why it is so important to get yourself out of those situations. That's why it's so important that when you have children and you're in a yucky situation with a man, I don't give a fuck if it's your husband or their father. That's why it's so important to get yourself out of there, to get your children out of there, because you don't want that energy manifesting itself on your children or on you. It becomes a generational curse. Okay? So that's a problem. And that, to me, again, that's one of the biggest problems, is that you become exactly what you despise. You repeat that same energy. Okay? And you don't mean to do it. You don't even know it's happening. You can't even see it. It's scary, right? So now that you understand why it's a major problem to allow people to treat you badly, and again, I'm even talking about as minimal as the little side jokes. Don't let people talk to you like that. Don't let people cut you down. Don't let people diminish who you are. Don't let people try to dim your light. Don't let people fucking unscrew your light bulb. Don't let people chop down your tree. Right? Don't let people throw you shade. Just don't. Don't tolerate it. All right. So I want to tell you, Queens, this story. And again, God damn it, here's another Monday where I'm running out of time. Okay. Let me tell you, Queens, this story. And I'm going to go quickly. I said this last week. Damn. Anyway, I'm going to go quickly. It's this story about a young lady who was in a relationship with a guy and she allowed him to treat her badly. And I'm going to tell you like what happened as a result of her allowing him to treat her badly. And this is actually a really, really sad story. I'm not going to go all the way into like everything that happened because then it would expose, like if she's listening, she'd be like, damn, Brie, you done told my story. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep it very high level. So this young woman, again, you all queens know, I always think all of the queens are absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. This woman wound up getting in a relationship with a gentleman, and this guy just could not commit. Oh, he didn't want to commit to her. He doesn't want to get married. He's not ready for it. He has so much that he needs to do. His finances aren't where they need to be. He has a kid who's on her way to college. All of these different excuses that he kept making about why he couldn't make a commitment to her. Meanwhile, he wanted her to move in with him. He wanted her to leave her home, and I think she lived like maybe 150 miles away from where he is. But he wanted her to live in his home and live in his house and all of this good stuff, right? So she winded up moving in with him. Meanwhile, she's giving him what he wants, but he's not giving her what she wants, okay? He had situations where he would like call other women to borrow money because he was complaining that he was spending so much money now that she's moved in with him, even though he wanted her to move in. Right? She left she left her family. And again, I think she's probably about 150 miles. She's not like super far, but that's not close, right? That's not close. That's like 4 hours away from your family to move in with a guy who's not making a commitment to you. Okay? That's not cool. And not only is he not making a commitment, he's being mean. He's being mean to her, right? So she moves in. Because she moved that far, she didn't have a job in the city where he lived. So for a while, she was unemployed. She was looking for a job. He started complaining about the fact that he was having to pay all the bills, that she wasn't helping contribute financially. And one of the things that he did was, like I just said, he talked to another girl, which was one of his ex-girlfriends, to borrow money. And when the queen confronted him about why are you calling your ex to borrow money, or why are you talking to your ex, or why are you leaving the house at this time of night to meet up with your ex-girlfriend, he said, well, you're not bringing in any money and bills are due and I'm strapped. I've got to pay bills. So she's helping me out. Abusive, 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 queens. Abort mission. Abort mission. Okay. Fast forward a couple years later, because they were together for a couple of years. She ends up pregnant. Okay. She ends up pregnant. She has a baby. And now she's going through some major, major, major financial issues. She is unable to get her own apartment right now because her credit is jacked. She keeps losing her job because they keep breaking up. And every time she has to move out, she has to go all the way back home. And then, of course, quit the job that she has in the city that he's in and start over again. And she keeps doing it. She keeps doing it. She's doing it to herself at this point, right? But she keeps doing it, going back and forth and back and forth. They have a kid now. There's just a lot going on there. Okay. She's lost a lot. All of her savings is gone. She literally walked away from a job that she'd had for numbers of years. She's not in the best health. She's going through some health issues. There's a lot of things going on. And all of this transpired in the course of about, I'm going to say 3 to 4 years of being with this guy. And still to this day, this guy has made no commitment. And the excuse that he makes as to why he can't make a commitment is because of all of his past traumas, things that happened to him when he was a kid, experiences that happened to him in past relationships, women who fucked him over and put him in a situation and now he doesn't trust women. Oh, he needs her to prove to him that she loves him. Oh, he needs her to prove to him that she's not going to hurt him. Oh, he's such a gentle soul and he doesn't want to be heartbroken again. Oh, his mother left him when he was a kid. Oh, his father passed away 10 years ago. Get the fuck over it, dude. Okay? Now, I don't mean that in a mean way, like it's not a big to-do that you lost your dad. Just so you queens know, I have tons of compassion for that because I lost my dad as well. My father is no longer here. So of all people in the world, I'm compassionate. But your pain does not give you an excuse to treat someone badly. I don't care that you lost your dad. That doesn't give you an excuse to treat someone else like shit. I don't care if your mom abandoned you. That doesn't give you an excuse to treat someone like shit. Okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't say I don't care. I do care. Okay. But what I'm saying is it doesn't mean that it's okay for you to treat someone else badly because of what you've gone through. It doesn't matter that you had your heart broken by a woman in the past. You know, you don't get to treat all new women that you meet badly because of something that someone else did. You know, every fucking body has been hurt. Everybody has traumas from their childhood. Everybody has dealt with some sort of an abandonment issue, whether it be from parents, friends, exes. It doesn't matter. Listen, we all have not had the best life. Not everyone. Even people who we look at as super duper privileged. Okay? Just because they might have money or fame or good looks or whatever you call it, or, you know, natural beauty, good genes, they still have emotional and mental hardship. No one is void of that. And it doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter from whence you've come. You don't get to treat people badly because of it. And we, queens, have to stop making excuses for people, right? When they treat us badly. Because people who treat people badly need to be held accountable. And if they refuse to be held accountable and they won't own their own shit, you have to make a decision whether or not you continue to stay in a situation like that and exchange energy with that person. Okay. So again, the end of that story, I won't go into more detail, but the end of that story is that queen put her finances, put her children, and her health in a fucked up situation. All because she continued to tolerate someone treating her badly. Literally, the moment that she got into a relationship with him and he started to treat her badly, you could see the things in her life declining slowly but surely. Not only was she mentally abused by him, because I don't care what anybody says, it's mental abuse to treat someone that way and then to neglect how they feel when they approach you about it. But not only did she allow him to do that to her and did she experience mental abuse, it's also abusive to your children and the people that are dependent on you, because they're experiencing exactly what you're experiencing. And if they're experiencing it because you're experiencing it, what do you think it's doing to their mental health rather? Okay. So with that being said, queens, I want to give you 3 things that you can do. If you think or you know that you have people in your life who are using their pain or any issues that they've experienced as an excuse to treat you badly, okay? There are some things that you can do about it. And again, this applies for your intimate family as well. For your intimate family, listen, queens, if it's your kids, if it's your mom, if it's your dad, if it's your brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, friend, best friend, homegirl, I don't care. You do not let people treat you badly. So how can you put up some walls, right? Because I know that that's hard. And a lot of people will say, oh, girl, it ain't hard. I don't let nobody treat me like that. Girl, shut up. Yes, y'all do. Everybody does it, right? Myself included. So what are some of the things that you can do to prevent people from treating you badly, especially if it's like people who are close to you and you're just used to them being that way? What can you do? Here's the first thing. Stand up for yourself. If someone is saying things to you like a joke, but it really kind of cuts deep, or you find yourself thinking, I wonder if that person really means that. Even if it's funny, if it's mean, if it's hurtful, don't let people put those things into your spirit. Don't let people speak those curses over you. Stand up for yourself. Tell them, hey, I know that you don't mean any harm, and I know you're probably just joking around and you're not trying to hurt my feelings, but I don't like when you say that. I don't think it's very funny. Okay? Draw a line in the sand and just let them know, hey, here's a boundary that I'm creating. I don't like it. Okay? So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing that you can do is to reestablish your self-value. If you're allowing someone to demean you, it means that somewhere in your mental psyche, you don't feel like you deserve better. You don't believe that you deserve more, or you don't think that you can get more. You think that this is it. You're tolerating this behavior for a specific reason. You're getting something out of that relationship or out of that person, and you're exchanging your value and your worth for whatever you're getting. Okay? So how can you, like, I know some people, and I've had this question asked to me a couple times, like, because I talk about self-esteem and valuing yourself and self-worth, I talk about it so much on almost every episode, almost every post, because that's what the purpose of All Queens Army is, right? And so I get this question a lot, and I might just create like a blog post for this. I'll let you queens know if I do. But how can you uplift yourself? Like, how can you really get back to a place where you recognize your self-worth and your value? Here's how I did it, because I did it. And actually, I still have to do it. Like, it's a thing that you have to do, not just once, but over and over and over again. Like, you'll find yourself revisiting this every time something kind of knocks you down or makes you feel like you're not successful or you're not cute or you gained a couple pounds or whatever is going on. I'll just take a pen and a piece of paper and I write a little list of all of the things that are so motherfucking good about me. It's a pat yourself on the back list. Write down all the dope ass shit about who you are. Not all just physical, mental, different characteristics, who you are, what you do, what you give to the world. What kind of parent are you? What kind of friend are you? What kind of girlfriend or wife are you? You know, what do you give to society? What are the good qualities that you have? What are your talents? What are you good at? What do you love? What do you cherish? What do you work hard for? Okay, just focus on all the good things about what you contribute, not to other people, but even to yourself. Write them down and just keep going. Every time you think of another thing, add it to the list and just keep adding. And I guarantee you, after you write like the first 2, 3, 4 things, like next thing you know, you'll have like 10 things on your list. And then next thing you know, you have like 20 things on your list. And the more you write, the more shit that'll come to your mind. Like, oh, I do this too. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I love this. Oh, I'm good at this too. Write that list as long as it needs to be. Hell, fill up a whole fucking composition notebook full of it. That's how you do it. You just start to pay attention to the things that you're good at, to the things that you do, to the wonderful person that you are, to the strong characteristics that you have, to the loving nature that you bring, to the type of parent that you are, to how you take care of the people you love, to how hard you work at your job, okay? To how much you dedicate yourself to your craft or to your gift and talent. Write that shit down. Look at it. See it. Put it on paper. Make it real. Manifest it. And I guarantee you, your energy about yourself will just naturally start to change because you're identifying all the good things about yourself. And then once you feel comfortable that you have a nice comprehensive list, right? Shit, if you need to revisit it and keep adding stuff over and over again, do it. But once you feel like that you see a whole bunch of great things and you feel comfortable that you're done, ask yourself this question. If you have damn near a notebook full of great shit about who you are and what you do, why the fuck are you tolerating with some shit that you don't deserve? Why are you making excuses? Ask yourself that question. You may not get the answer or know the answer right away, but I guarantee you the universe will bring that answer to the forefront of your brain eventually. You'll start to really figure out and understand why you're tolerating bad behavior. You'll start to understand why you're making excuses for people who do things that don't make you feel good. You'll start to understand what you're exchanging for that bad behavior because you're getting something out of that relationship or out of that person or out of that situation. What are you exchanging for bad behavior? And then ask yourself, is it fucking worth it? Okay? So that's how you can uplift your self-worth and your self-value, and do that as many times as you need to, or keep that notebook or keep that piece of paper that you wrote it on and just look at it and revisit it every time you start to doubt yourself. Okay. Now here's the last thing that you can do to kind of get yourself out of that type of situation. And this is probably the second or third time that I've used this as a thing you can do in one of the episodes, but try counseling or therapy. Try talking to someone about what's going on in your life, about your relationships with people, okay, about your interactions with people, about how people or certain things make you feel, right? Try counseling. Our mental health and our mental development is extremely important. And Queens, it is being attacked daily, hourly, okay? It's being attacked. So we have to make sure that we are solid in regards to our mental health. And I'm telling you, when you allow people to treat you badly, okay, when you allow it, when you give people the room to talk to you badly, to treat you badly, to give you less than you deserve, to make excuses about why they don't care about how you feel, to continue bad behavior even after you identify it, when you allow that, I'm telling you, it is a sign that there's something within you that you need to heal. Okay? All right. I love you, Queens. I really do. This was a little bit more of a serious episode and a serious topic because, you know, that Queen story that I just told, it really hurts my heart. it hurts my heart to watch her to be where she is today, knowing where she was when she met this gentleman. So I beg you, queens, please make sure that you're able to identify when people are treating you less than what you deserve to be treated, well, less than how you deserve to be treated. Okay. Please figure out how to build up the strength to stand up for yourself. And if you don't know, you can please feel free to reach out to me. I'm not saying that I'm a specialist by any far stretch of the imagination. I'm not. But one thing I have done is learned how to stand the fuck up for myself. Okay. All right, queens. With that being said, I am going to tune on out of today's episode. Thank you so much, queens, for tuning in to the All Queens Army podcast. Please make sure that you follow us on Instagram or Facebook at All Queens Army, and make sure you subscribe to our email list so that you can get the exclusive content that is specifically for the queens in the queen community. Okay. I don't even post this stuff on social media that I send out in the emails. Okay. So with that being said, queens, I hope you have an amazing Monday. I love you, queens, so much. I thank you so much for tuning in and listening. I love to be in your ear because you queens are always in my hearts. If ever you need to reach out to me, you can feel free to email me at breezy@allqueensarmy.com. That is BREIZY at allqueensarmy.com. Okay, queens, I love you so much. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the All Queens Army podcast. If you want to connect with Breizy Time and the All Queens Army, be sure to follow them on IG and Facebook at All Queens Army. Or head over and check out the All Queens Army YouTube channel. Until next time.